Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor episode number 148 based on novel. So let's start. Senior. Xiao Yang called out in a deep voice, but the only thing that could respond to Xiao Yang was a dead silence. There must be something wrong with these 8 stone pillars. Just now, a mysterious power flickered in the palm of the old guard, and the stone pillar seemed to come alive. Why is there no movement now? Xiao Yang did not panic when he saw that the mysterious old man was missing, but was serious. Think about it. At this time, panic is useless, only calmness can solve the problem. Hey, boy. I know you still have a lot of questions, but those questions should wait until you've cleared this up. If you can't even get past this place, then it's enough to show that you have no luck with this fighting skill. Just when Xiao Yang was about to investigate the surroundings, the old man's voice slowly spoke, and then it returned to calm. According to what my master Jin Longwang said, it seems that we still need some things to cultivate this sky-moving ruler. Those things should exist in the 8 stone pillars. Xiao Yang heard the words and suddenly remembered what his master Jin Longwang said. Hey, this kid, his memory and understanding are also the best choice, not bad. Above Jie, the figure of the Golden Dragon King said quite leisurely. Xiao Yang's acceptance ring was already shrouded in the power of the Golden Dragon King at this time. No matter how powerful Xiao Yang was, he could not feel his existence. After all, the time difference between the two was too great. Boom, boom, boom. The next moment, just when Xiao Yang wanted to make a move, a strange light curtain suddenly appeared around the stone hall, instantly surrounding the entire stone hall. Not good. When the light curtain just appeared, Xiao Yang secretly said that it was not good, and the dazzling Emperor Yang suddenly burst out in his hand, attacking him with a mighty thunder. However, Xiao Yang's attack was still a step too late. The attack had just arrived around the stone hall, and suddenly the light curtain had formed, and then Xiao Yang's seemingly terrifying attack disappeared directly into the light curtain, without bringing any a ripple. Damn, what the is this place? Seeing this, Xiao Yang couldn't help but scolded. Because Xiao Yang can clearly feel that since the formation of this light curtain, his power and soul power perception are only limited to the space of several hundred meters in this stone hall. It seemed that the mysterious light curtain directly cut off Xiao Yang's connection with the outside world. This situation was quite unfortunate. Before Xiao Yang was surprised, one of the 8 stone pillars was already surging. Looking at the battle, it was clearly coming towards Xiao Yang. A mere stone pillar wants to stop me? Xiao Yang said disapprovingly when he saw this. Immediately, Yi Huaheng Jiuji was behind his back, and a dazzling power emerged, ready to deal with the stone pillar. Clang. Shizhu naturally couldn't understand people's words. Even if Xiao Yang had an extremely large Emperor Yang emerging from his body at this time, he directly scolded Xiao Yang and fell down on his own. Boom, boom, boom. One of the 8 stone pillars moved directly, and then quickly fell to Xiao Yang. The overwhelming aura made Xiao Yang slightly startled. Damn. Xiao Yang originally thought that it shouldn't be difficult to stop this stone pillar with his enormous Emperor Yang's power and soul power, but the next moment Xiao Yang realized that he was wrong. Boom, boom, boom. The stone pillar fell directly on its own, without being blocked by Xiao Yang's enormous Emperor Yang and soul power. It felt like he was falling down normally. Damn, what the is in this stone pillar? How could it suppress the power in my body? Xiao Yang dragged his hands up high at this time. In his palms, the huge stone pillar was pressing against Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang also felt extremely puzzled, but he did not dare to neglect, and insisted on gritted teeth. Boom, boom, boom. The next moment, the stone pillar seemed to have discovered that Xiao Yang was spying on his own secret, and his body was shocked, and a force of vicissitudes was instantly transmitted into Xiao Yang's body. Xiao Yang was hit by such a blow, and his breath immediately became chaotic, because Xiao Yang didn't know what it was from the beginning to the end. Calm down. This is the deepest part of the 4th floor of the Doji Pavilion. This is the place where the treasures of the human palace are stored, and the mysterious old man just now wanted to guard here. The reason why the treasures of this palace have not been successfully cultivated for thousands of years, I am afraid there are some secrets. Xiao Yang thought over and over while facing the power of vicissitudes in the huge stone pillar. Boom, boom, boom. The stone pillar seemed to be determined to suppress Xiao Yang, and then the power burst out, and a force that Xiao couldn't resist emerged. Xiao Yang's complexion became ugly. No, things will go wrong. Xiao Yang was secretly surprised, but he couldn't think of a good solution for a while. After all, this stone pillar is really too weird. But just as Xiao Yang was struggling to support it, The ancient ruler of eternal fire on Xiao Yang suddenly made a very crisp chirping, as if there was something here that was attracting it. What? Xiao Yang also knew that this ancient ruler of eternal fire had some intelligence similar to that of human beings, but he couldn't say it in detail, but this ancient ruler of eternal fire said so, and Xiao Yang had no other way, so he had to do it immediately. Just as Ihua Henguchi said, Xiao Yang gave up his resistance directly, put away all the strength of his body, and let the stone pillar suppress him. But this pain is nothing compared to swallowing the strange fire, so Xiao Yang did not make any sound. Boom boom boom. As Xiao Yang gave up and resisted, the stone pillar suppressed Xiao Yang for a while, and even if it was about to crush Xiao Yang to death, Xiao Yang didn't react at all, immediately became slightly uncomfortable, willing to return to the original position. What the is this stone pillar doing? Xiao Yang murmured when he saw the stone pillar returning to his position. Looking around, the 8 stone pillars and the 8 steps here seem to be somehow connected. Hey, good boy, you have discovered the secret of this stone pillar so quickly. The secret of this stone pillar has come in a lot of people, but not much has been discovered. Many disciples only know that they need to break it, but they forgot. Sometimes it's a skill to give up. The mysterious old man was located directly above the stone hall, and Xiao Yang's every move was in full view, but the strange thing was that Xiao Yang couldn't seem to see the mysterious old man in the stone hall. But although I have said the easiest first level, what follows is the real good show. It is not so easy to obtain the qualification to observe the treasures of our Runjian town store. After the mysterious old man finished speaking, he laughed in the sky. It seems that there is really something. Xiao Yang glanced around and found nothing unusual, and immediately opened his mouth slightly. In addition to the warning from Ihua Henguchi, Xiao Yang knew that he was still one step away from obtaining the cultivation method of this man's treasure. Immediately, he clasped the Ihua Heng ancient ruler tightly, and stared at the 8 stone pillars with a sharp aura in his eyes. The colors of the 8 stone pillars also slowly changed, as if some ancient aura appeared. Come on, Xiao Yang said sharply, and then his eyes slowly stared at the 8 stone pillars. The next moment, the 8 stone pillars did not leave the same place as Xiao Yang thought, and whistled towards him. But above the 8 stone pillars, a strange light emerged, and a dazzling ancient breath suddenly appeared on the stone pillar. The next moment, each of the 8 stone pillars emerged with a mysterious and ancient force, directly facing the 8 steps in the center of the stone hall. Boom boom boom. After a while, a silver-white energy light group slowly emerged. Is this the thing that is lacking in the cultivation of the heaven-shifting ruler? Xiao Yang held the ancient eternal fire ruler in his hand, and looked at the mysterious light group on the 8 steps with slight vigilance. In the mysterious light group, there seems to be a power that makes Xiao Yang feel afraid, and that power seems to be exactly the same as the looming fighting skill scroll. Following the actions of the 8 stone pillars, the next moment, it instantly returned to calm, but the dazzling light group in the center of the stone hall was slowly shaking. Not long after, the mysterious light group turned into a human appearance. This is myself. After a few breaths, Xiao Yang's breathing became heavier, because the mysterious light group in front of him actually transformed into his own appearance. Those who covet treasures, die. Xiao Yang, who was transformed by the mysterious light group, said coldly, and the space of the stone hall trembled slightly in an instant. Look at the ruler. Seeing this, Xiao Yang didn't want to waste time with this mysterious figure, and a terrifying flame burst out from the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand, attacking the fake self. The fake Xiao Yang's pupils were filled with ashes. Facing Xiao Yang's attack so close at hand, he didn't have the slightest fear. His palms rose slightly, and an ancient aura permeated. In an instant, Xiao Yang's seemingly terrifying attack was easily resolved by it. Good guy. Seeing this, Xiao Yang couldn't help but sink. In this sealed stone palace, he was undoubtedly at a disadvantage. If he continued to fight like this, he would inevitably lose. Boom boom boom. The fake Xiao Yang took Xiao Yang's attack with ease. Without hesitation, he raised his palm and attacked Xiao Yang. Damn it. Xiao Yang thought of a way while retreating, but Xiao Yang didn't realize that every time the counterfeit Xiao Yang's palm attacked him, the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand absorbed a trace of strength. Weak, but it does happen. This is. Just a few minutes after the battle, Xiao Yang was chased by the fake Xiao Yang, but fortunately Xiao Yang's movement skills were good, and with the help of the ancient ruler of the different fire, it did not cause any damage to him. What a big impact, but the fake Xiao Yang suddenly stared at the ancient ruler of the eternal fire eternal flame, which was exuding bursts of flames on Xiao Yang's palm, and stopped moving. Xiao Yang was secretly surprised when he saw that the fake Xiao Yang had stopped moving, But there was a burst of cheers from the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand, and Xiao Yang had no choice. You mean, if you want to acquire the method of cultivation, this guy is essential? Xiao Yang said with a doubtful tone to his palm. Who? The Ihua Hungu ruler is very spiritual, and Zaidu cheered in approval. But this guy's strength may have reached the level of the 7-star Do Emperor or even stronger. I can't deal with the current me alone. Xiao Yang thought again. This fake Xiao Yang is the condensed mysterious power of 8 stone pillars. So, even Xiao Yang, there is no other way. Do you have a solution? Just when Xiao Yang was at a loss, a burst of information suddenly came out from the ancient ruler of eternal fire, and Xiao Yang suddenly wondered. Okay. Xiao Yang communicated with Ihuaheng ancient ruler. He immediately knew what Ihuaheng ancient ruler was doing. He couldn't help being surprised. He immediately fought against the fake Xiao Yang, but this time, Xiao Yang was not running away. Every time the fake Xiao Yang's attack was blocked directly by the ancient ruler of different fire and constant, and it was strange to say, no matter how the attack of the fake Xiao Yang destroyed the sky and the earth, the ancient ruler of different fire and eternal will not be happy. Fear to stop. In the deepest part of the Doji Pavilion, besides Xiao Yang who entered the human palace and Qin Xin entered the heaven palace, the other 5 people all entered the earth palace by coincidence. Second senior brother, this is. Ling Xian was the first to speak. The 5 people here naturally had the guidance of an expert to successfully arrive at the place where the treasures of the palace were stored, but for the rest, they could only rely on themselves. Don't panic, this should be the place where the treasures of our underground palace are stored. Second senior brother Zhu Yuan bore the brunt, standing in front of the 5 people, and said vigilantly. Since the 5 of them separated from Xiao Yang and the others, they were brought here in an instant due to an unknown powerful force, and they had just arrived here, and they could clearly feel that the atmosphere here was completely different from the outside. According to what the deputy hall master said, it is quite easy to cultivate the treasures of our underground hall. I am afraid that the few people present have the capital to successfully cultivate. Ling Yun stared at the surroundings and said, the treasures of the town hall should be stored in the main hall, let's look for it first. Second senior brother Zhu Yuan opened his mouth. Following Zhu Yuan's opening, several people also dispersed, looking for in this forest. It's just that a few hundred meters away from a few people, a silver hall slowly appeared. It's just that this silver hall is very special, because it actually moves. It seems that they sensed the arrival of the 5 Lingxian people. The silver hall actually moved, and it felt like a hide-and-seek, burning incense pavilion outside. They have already entered for 5 days, why is there no movement at all? Xiong Yuan sat on a stone table at the entrance of the 4th floor of the Doji Pavilion and asked a little impatiently. Hey, this thing can't be rushed. Don't you have high hopes for those little guys in your palace? Mu Shuzi immediately laughed when he saw Xiong Yuan's appearance. Hope is one thing, whether it can be done is another. Xiong Yuan shook his head helplessly. Among the many disciples who entered, Xiong Yuan clearly remembered that there were 5 places where the treasures of the underground palace were stored. If even this failed, then there was no doubt that these 5 people were the people of their underground palace. Treasure missed. Wait, once the treasure of the town hall at any point in the 3 halls is successfully cultivated by others, we will be able to sense it for the first time. Mu Shuzi said. Now, that's all we can do. I hope these little guys won't let us down. After all, they have obtained powerful fighting skills, and they are also unique to our Funxiang Pavilion. They will also be able to reappear in future sect competitions. Our burning incense pavilion has been quiet for too many years. Xiong Yuan stared at the entrance of the 4th floor of the Doji Pavilion, and said slowly, there was a vicissitudes of hope in his voice. Boom boom boom. Xiao Yang has been grasping the ancient ruler of eternal fire for the past few days, constantly absorbing the attacks of fake Xiao Yang. And as he absorbed it, Xiao Yang slowly discovered that the power of the fake Xiao Yang seemed to be getting weaker and weaker, while the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand was born with another kind of power besides Emperor Yang. It's time. In the stone hall, Xiao Yang suddenly flashed a hint of determination. In 5 days, all that mysterious power has been absorbed by his eternal fire eternal ruler, and it's time to enter the next stage. As soon as Xiao Yang's voice fell, the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand suddenly shone brightly, and an indescribable terrifying flame was born in an instant. Go! Xiao Yang had just finished speaking, and suddenly an incomparable terrifying force radiated from the ancient ruler of the different fire in his hand, and he walked away at the fake Xiao Yang. Boom boom boom. Facing Xiao Yang's terrifying blow from a strange fire and an ancient ruler, There was still no change on the fake Xiao Yang's face, but Xiao Yang smiled slightly. The next moment, Xiao Yang's terrifying power swept down. The terrifying wave just came into contact with the fake Xiao Yang, nothing appeared, but it exploded in the next breath. No! The fake Xiao Yang was initially unmoved, but the next moment, when Xiao Yang's terrifying attack hit him, he knew it was too late. Your strength is indeed powerful, but I have the ancient ruler of different fires. Although I don't know why, you are not a big threat to me. Disappear. Xiao Yang turned into a fire and said directly to the fake Xiao Yang. As Xiao Yang's voice fell, the fake Xiao Yang suddenly turned into white smoke, and then dissipated in Xiao Yang's terrifying attack. Hehe, this eternal fire eternal ruler is really a good thing. Seeing the crisis contact, Xiao Yang looked at the eternal fire eternal ruler in his hand and smiled slowly. This strange fire eternal ancient ruler was originally from the Doqi continent, and the 22 different fires were condensed. The first time it was used was when killing the Soul Emperor. Since then, it has been following Xiao Yang. Even Xiao Yang didn't know the specific origin of this ancient ruler of eternal fire. However, Xiao Yang knew that this thing was definitely not simple. Otherwise, the fake Xiao Yang just now was so terrifying. This eternal fire eternal ancient ruler was not afraid at all, and even coveted his power. It's over. Xiao Yang watched the fake Xiao Yang disappear, and immediately looked around with vigilance. At this time, with the disappearance of the fake Xiao Yang, the stone hall has returned to calm, and the 8 stone pillars are also immobile, as if they have not been moved just now. As for the mysterious fighting skill scroll that was looming above the 8 steps in the stone hall, Xiao Yang did not even think about taking it. Treasure, if it is so simple, I am afraid that the name will be in vain. Hey, this kid's comprehension is very good. The figure condensed by the stone pillar is actually just an energy body at best, and it won't kill anyone, but it is so huge that it surpasses his full first-order strength, so he dares to fight, enough to show that this the virtuous nature of the boy. This first step is solved, but if you can't discover the secrets in this stone palace, even I can't help you. Defeat this energy body is only the first way. If you want to cultivate the treasure of our human hall, you must have that kind of thing. Right above the stone hall, the mysterious old man slowly stared at Xiao Yang, and was extremely satisfied with Xiao Yang's performance just now. Since Xiao Yang entered this stone hall, he has not moved in confusion, because he knew that this stone hall might be in danger, so even if he faced the counterfeit Xiao Yang from behind, he would still take every step. Another thing that surprised the old man was that even if Xiao Yang was about to be put to death by the fake Xiao Yang, he did not panic at all, which made the old man's evaluation of Xiao Yang even higher. However, the old man naturally didn't know that most of the power of the counterfeit Xiao Yang's attack was absorbed by the Yihuaheng ancient ruler, otherwise the old man would not give Xiao Yang any evaluation. This stone pillar. Xiao Yang stood alone in the stone hall. Relying on the huge soul power and fighting spirit, Xiao Neng discovered that this stone hall was already a sealed space, and unless his strength reached the 9-star Do Emperor, he would not be able to leave this stone hall at all. However, the purpose of Xiao Yang's trip is here, and naturally he will not leave easily. The arrangement of the stone pillars and the arrangement of the steps seemed to. Xiao Yang thought about it. After realizing that Xiao Yang had found something wrong, the ancient ruler of eternal fire on Xiao Yang's palm also exuded a force, but the force was directed at the stone pillar. You mean, the secret exists in this stone pillar? Xiao Yang sensed the meaning expressed by the ancient ruler of eternal fire, and immediately said in surprise. Because Xiao Yang's perception told him that the 8 stone pillars were solid and had nothing at all. However, Xiao Yang was also a vigilant person. His body flashed slightly, and then he walked towards the 8 stone pillars. What secret does this stone pillar hold? Xiao Yang thought slowly as he walked. Just after he finished speaking, Yi Huaheng's ancient ruler was behind his back, and then Xiao Yang's palm was gently lifted and he walked towards one of the 8 stone pillars. Beep beep beep. As soon as his palm touched the stone pillar, a cold feeling spread throughout his body. This penetrating coldness made Xiao Yang's body suddenly shake. No. After a few breaths, Xiao Yang probed the body of the stone pillar, but there was nothing. He immediately shook his head. Look at the next one. Just as Xiao Yang was about to pull away from his palm, the ancient ruler behind him suddenly shook, breaking away from Xiao Yang's restraint and hitting the stone pillar directly. Boom boom boom. With the sudden scene of Yi Huaheng Jiyu Ji, Xiao Yang was extremely surprised. But the next moment, a vision appeared directly. Boom boom boom. The grey copper stone pillar collided directly with Xiao Yang's 23-colored radiant ancient ruler, and the dazzling power was born directly. This is. Xiao Yang's pupils only shrank, Because of the collision between the two, Xiao Yan felt that the power from the collision of the two was the same mysterious power on the Do skill scroll. I just absorbed the power of the fake Xiao Yang, although the power on the fighting skill scroll is similar, but what is missing after all, now? After Xiao finished speaking, he suddenly laughed, and then without hesitation, his body burned at a high speed. When it runs, it continuously absorbs the power of the ancient rulers and stone pillars of the different fires. As for the scrolls of fighting skills on the 8 steps in the stone hall, they slowly surfaced as Xiao Yang continued to absorb power. The pupils of the old man above the hall became weird at this time. This kid, is this okay? That's fine too. The mysterious old man above the hall stared directly at Xiao Yang's appearance, stunned. Entering the place where the treasures of the temple are located, one must defeat the power scattered by the stone pillar, and then absorb the power in the stone pillar, so that it is possible to touch the fighting skill scroll, otherwise the Hola-level fighting skill scroll will be lost. The coercion contained in it is enough to kill any 6-star fighting emperor, which is why the old man would let Xiao Yang do these things. The human temple fighting skill is called Tian Ruler. Although it is well known among the holy ranks, it has not been cultivated by disciples for thousands of years. This has led to the practice of this fighting skill being forgotten, but its power cannot be underestimated. 6-star Do DS perfect strength can't hold so much chi. Next, let me see how you deal with it. The mysterious old man smiled slowly, and there was a look of anticipation in his voice. Damn it! Xiao Yang in the stone hall had been absorbing power, but Xiao Yang found that it seemed that he couldn't absorb the power himself. At this time, a grey seed has condensed in the body. I think this seed is the condensed chi that the mysterious old man said. No, if it goes on like this, it will explode. Xiao Yang's mind was condensed, and he snorted immediately. Wang Om. Ihua Heng Jiu Kai also realized that he had absorbed too much power just now, and just wanted to break free from the stone pillar, but found that he and the stone pillar seemed to be entangled. Feng Ju, swallow it for me. The next moment, Xiao Yang's eyes lit up, but he knew how to deal with it. Following Xiao Yang's explosive drink, the flaming beast in the sea of fighting chi in his body suddenly opened its pupils and stared at this enormous power with anticipation. Enter. Xiao Yang absorbed the remaining power with all his strength, and immediately said with a smile. And following Xiao Yang's actions, the remaining flames were swallowed up by the flame beasts in their bodies, and in the end they didn't even know what to do. After doing all this, Xiao Yang sat down directly, gasping for breath. This kid, there should be something in his body. But forget it. This guy is the same as the kid back then. It took 7 days to solve these matters. It seems that this time we have an incredible disciple in the human palace. After the mysterious old man finished speaking, he got up slightly, he waved gently at the stone hall under his feet. Immediately, a majestic force emerged, and immediately the confinement of the stone hall disappeared, and the figure of the old man slowly appeared in front of Xiao Yang. Senior, this should be all right, right? Xiao Yang was not surprised when he saw this mysterious old man appearing. He passed all the tests just now, and it was time to get in touch with the fighting skill scroll. That's right, you've all passed, which proves that you have the qualifications to cultivate the treasures of our human palace. The old man did not delay, and said directly to Xiao Yang. When Xiao Yang heard this, he was immediately overjoyed. This was something he had coveted for a long time. Okay, since you can't wait so much, let's get started. But remember, if you can't bear it, then choose to quit. Although your fighting skills are good, you won't lose your life. The old man said slowly. Okay. Xiao Yang responded, and then fixed his eyes on the 8 steps in the center of the stone hall. What you see is the place where our human temple Do technique scrolls are stored, but don't underestimate the 8 steps. The 8 steps contain extremely powerful repulsive force. If you don't absorb the ruler on the stone pillar, I am afraid that even the 9-star Do Emperor powerhouses will not be able to get close. After absorbing it, it can indeed lighten a little burden, said the mysterious old man. I'm going to try. Xiao Yang heard the words, and a fiery radiance appeared in his heart. This was something that was in front of him, but he didn't mean to back down at all. 1 step, 2 steps. Xiao Yang took a few steps gently and suddenly came to the 8 steps in front of him. These 8 steps are in a raised state, one is higher than the other, and where the 8th step is, the figure of the fighting skill scroll is looming. Xiao Yang's eyes flashed with a dignified look, and then he stepped on it. Just as he took the first step on the steps, overwhelming pressure burst out from Ping and 8th, causing Xiao Yang's body to sting slightly. Damn, such a strong repulsive force. Xiao Yang said coldly, but there was an extremely firm gaze in those eyes. The next moment, Xiao Yan is on his way. The second one. The pressure of the second one was more than 3 times stronger than that of the first one. When he got here, Xiao Yan had to unleash the power of his whole body, that is, the power of the grey seeds, to wrap his entire body. Yang knew that the power on these 8 steps was exactly the same as the power in the stone pillar he had just absorbed. The power of the grey kai seeds just appeared, and it immediately relieved Xiao Yang countless pressures. After a few breaths, Xiao Yang stepped into the stairs. This time, Xiao Yang exuded a grey aura, and without hesitation, he suddenly stepped into the 3rd, 4th, and 2nd step. Before the terrifying pressure on those 2 steps appeared, Xiao Yang gritted his teeth and stepped directly into the 5th and 6th step. Good boy. Seeing this, the mysterious old man on the side couldn't help but admire Xiao Yang. The pressure contained in these 8 steps is difficult even for me, and the heart guy can be so relaxed one after another. Damn it. After Xiao Yang reached the 6th step, the tingling pain from his body indicated that he was about to reach the limit, and on Xiao Yang's forehead, sweat was pouring down like rain. No way is close at hand, we can't give up so easily. Xiao Yang snorted coldly, then slowly picked up his steps and walked towards the 7th stage. Boom boom boom. As soon as he stepped into the 7th floor, Xiao Yang, who was suddenly suppressed by an invisible pressure, was almost out of breath. Xiao Yang's eyes were slightly red, obviously reaching the limit. Hey, boy, you are very good. The previous disciples only stepped into the 6th stage. Now you are very good at the 7th floor. Come back, if you continue like this, your body will not be able to withstand the explosion and die. The mysterious old man watched Xiao Yang stalemate on the 7th stage for a while, and immediately said, "Come back." Seeing that Xiao Yang didn't respond, the mysterious old man immediately said worriedly, "This guy is Zhu Jin's disciple, if anything goes wrong with him, I'm afraid that old guy will tear him directly. Do not." It's okay. The next moment, facing the power of the mysterious old man, Xiao Yang directly refused, and then a dazzling power emerged. With the emergence of this power, Xiao Yang's footsteps also smoothly entered the 8th floor, and as Xiao Yang stepped into the 8th floor, the invisible pressure disappeared instantly, and the battle for the treasure of the palace of the people was gone. How did the skill scroll appear in front of Xiao Yang? Good boy, he actually succeeded. Seeing this, the mysterious old man couldn't help but stare at Xiao Yang. This kid, such perverted power. The mysterious old man couldn't help but praise. As the guardian of this fighting skill, the mysterious old man has naturally witnessed countless heaven's favored people for hundreds of years, but it is the first time that the old man has seen Xiao Yang's wisdom and heart. Next, when it's time to harvest, I hope that this kid has endured so many difficulties and can really master the fighting skills, so that our Funxiang pavilion can be proud of himself. However, if it fails, it will definitely be a big blow to this kid. After all, there were disciples who were negative because they couldn't bear the pressure. The old man said with joy and worry. Finally, have you reached it? Xiao Yang reluctantly opened his eyes. When he stepped into the 8 steps, he was about to collapse due to the overwhelming force, but fortunately, with the holy Yang Emperor Yang and Qi, Xiao Yang was able to barely break through. The treasure of the palace, let me see your true face now. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, the corner of his mouth smiled strangely. After so much, he finally succeeded. In front of Xiao Yang, the 8 steps stood calmly, without the slightest breath. Above the 8 steps, a golden scroll slowly emerged. And with the appearance of the golden scroll, Xiao Yang suddenly felt that the ancient eternal fire ruler behind him gave out a very joyful vibration, as if this Do skill scroll had a fatal attraction to the ancient eternal fire ruler. Why is this ancient ruler of different fires so moving? Could it be that this fighting skill scroll has any origin with the ancient ruler of different fires? Xiao Yang, as the owner of the ancient rulers of different fires, naturally noticed the difference and immediately hesitated. Stand up. Okay, kid, since you've successfully passed all the tests, I'm not trying to persuade you. The treasure of our human palace is the fighting skill scroll in front of you. You can try it and see if you can master it, but you only have one chance. If you don't master it once, then no matter what, I won't let you try it a second time. The old man said solemnly. Hearing this, Xiao Yang nodded immediately, because he also knew that this Do skill scroll had reached the level of a holy rank, and with his current strength, I am afraid that he would have already tried his best to open it once, let alone the second time. Let's start. I'm here to protect the law for you, you can rest assured. After the old man finished speaking, a layer of grey energy suddenly emerged from the stone hall, instantly isolating the stone hall. Thank you, senior. Xiao Yang said respectfully, and then stared at the golden scroll in front of him. It's too early to say thank you, let's wait until you try this fighting skill scroll. If you succeed, I'm afraid it's me who should be thanked. The old man said slowly. The strength of this mysterious old man has already reached the level of a 9-star fighting emperor, but because of the bet with Zhu Jin, he lost for a while, so he has to guard the treasure of the temple here, and only the treasure of the temple only after being successfully cultivated by others can the old man be liberated. Is this the holy rank fighting skill? I remember that Uncle Golden Dragon King said that the fighting skills of the holy rank have surpassed the level of the immortal rank. Heaven rank fighting skills originally borrowed the power of heaven and earth, and immortal rank fighting skills have already reached the level of power resonance. As for the larger holy rank fighting skills, they have vaguely touched the level of the field. This level of attack, at the level of Do Di, is enough to easily cause a fatal blow. Xiao Yan kept recalling the words of his uncle, the Golden Dragon King, in his mind. However, Xiao Yang did not dare to imagine that this holy rank fighting skill was so terrifying. If it was a more powerful rank fighting skill, it would be enough to cover the sky with one hand, and the rank, Xiao Yang practiced this burning skill. Cultivation technique, the highest level is also a level. Although Xiao Yang's eyes had only reached the first floor of Fenju, and there was still a long way to go before the 6th floor, which had the highest divine rank, Xiao Yang knew that the road had to be taken step by step. Taking back his thoughts, Xiao Yang immediately did not hesitate, staring at the golden scroll, a feeling of joy immediately radiated. How to do this? Xiao Yang was a little hesitant at this time. He had never encountered this holy-level fighting skill scroll, and he was hesitant now. Relax, grab it directly with your palm, and then use your soul power, as usual. But the pressure of this holy fighting skill is extremely terrifying, you have to be prepared. Just when Xiao Yang wondered when the time came, the old guard opened his mouth. Yes. As the old guard spoke, Xiao Yang's concerns disappeared without a trace. The next moment, Xiao Yang had a smile on the corner of his mouth, and then his palm directly grabbed the golden fighting skill scroll. Wong buzzing. The golden scroll didn't move at all, and Xiao Yang was allowed to hold it like this. However, the eternal fire eternal ruler behind Xiao Yang exuded an extremely greedy aura. Next, it's time to harvest. Xiao Yang looked at the golden scroll exuding an ancient aura in his hand, and immediately from the outside, he felt the horror of this fighting skill scroll, and he immediately started to fight. Not long after, Xiao Yang's huge soul force suddenly gathered towards the golden scroll. Shabu shabu. As Xiao Yang's huge soul power moved towards the golden scroll that had been calm suddenly burst into a terrifying ripple of destruction. Bastard! Xiao Yang seemed to feel the repulsive force in the golden scroll, and immediately did not panic at all, because Xiao Yang knew that at this time, if he took back his power, he would only lose one and lose both. Better to give it a go. Go. I want to see how your holy rank fighting skill scroll resists my soul power. Xiao Yang's huge soul power emerged, and then he walked away towards the golden scroll. Soul power and the repulsive power emanating from the golden scroll attacked together viciously. Good guy, it's really crazy. But that's fine. I haven't met such a courageous disciple for many years. The old guard let out a slow sigh. Boom boom boom. The huge repulsive power of the golden scroll was replaced by Xiao Yang's soul power after a short while. Success. Feeling the repulsive force emanating from the golden scroll gradually disappearing, a smile appeared on the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth. Don't be too happy, now is the critical moment for you to master the fighting skills. Just when Xiao Yang was happy, the old guard said solemnly. Yes. Xiao Yang naturally knew that the old man was out of concern for himself, and as a veteran alchemist, Xiao Yang naturally knew this. As the repulsive power on the golden scroll disappeared, Xiao Yang slowly sighed for a while, swallowed a few pills directly, recovered the vindictive energy consumed in his body, and then his eyes turned back. Onto this golden scroll. Xiao Yang's face was calm, and he gently unfolded the golden scroll. All of them, an ancient aura like a giant dragon slowly radiated from the golden scroll, and the entire stone hall was filled with this ancient aura, and even the Ihua Hungu behind Xiao Yang was quiet. This video will end here.